Here we go again. Okay. Welcome back to another episode.
We are your hosts. I'm Ari.
And I'm Kinsey.
And this is Mamas Need Coffee. So I brought in a starter conversation. How about we talk about how we first got introduced to coffee, like how old we are, that sort of thing.
So, I got introduced with Starbucks when I was in high school. I think it was sophomore, freshman year, whatever. Me and my friend at the time, Zoe, she was like, let's go to Starbucks. And I was like, I'm not a coffee person. She was like, no, what I get isn't coffee.
Yeah.
So what the order was, double chocolatey chip frappuccino.
Oh.
Sub white mocha. So there's no nothing. It tastes like a cookies and cream shake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then later I was like, you know what? Let me try it with just the regular mocha. And then I loved it. Got my mom addicted. And
so your mom wasn't a Starbucks person?
She's not she was never a coffee person. Like, the smell of coffee makes her vomit and
That's
everything.
crazy to me.
Yeah, and then
you figured it out.
And I just started, trying new things every time I went. Then it became a caramel, something or another, and just progressively. Now if I need it, I will get a double shot of espresso in my frappuccino if I need it.
Yeah.
Take it away.
You can't reach it. So I think back when I was younger, probably even starting in the end of middle school or whatever, my mom offered me cappuccinos. From home or whatever, and
so what's considered a cappuccino?
I have no idea. I have no idea. It's I feel like it's a step up from hot chocolate,
maybe,
and it's a thing. Mostly with a cappuccino, you don't have to sweeten it. It already has a flavor.
Yeah.
It's but obviously you would have wanted it with more sugar,
right?
Stuff like that. But that's
extra
how it started.
Caramel drizzle.
Yeah, that's how it started, and then it got to be I went to Starbucks a few times here and there with friends or whatever. Mm-hmm. Never really knew what to get. I always just got something what are you gonna get?
He crawled to get that. But yeah, it started just basically paying $5 for a non-coffee drink.
I think my mom took me there on around holidays. I would ask pumpkin spice season and Christmas season, and then my birthday. She would take me to have breakfast at Starbucks on my birthday.
Yeah, I never even tried the pumpkin anything until you had me try that drink, and now I'm obsessed.
Yep.
Okay, so this week we are going to talk about the expectation and realities of parenting. We'll also be talking about discipline, how we plan to discipline our kids, and everything. We're just going to start off with, this is our opinion, completely our opinion. You have your opinion, we have our opinion. So,
yep.
So let's start off with the expectations and reality. So what did you expect versus, what actually happened?
I don't know. I think when you're pregnant or before you have kids, you're I'm not gonna let my kids do that or this or that, and it's once you're in that reality, it's definitely different. I don't know.
So I did. I have a Pinterest board of all this art I plan to do with Bella.
Yeah.
All of this, and I also had ideas from when we worked at the daycare. So I have all of those ideas and everything. But then the only foot art I have done is a birthday card. I put her foot in a birthday card. I did pumpkins with her feet. No, I did ghosts for Boo for Halloween, and I did Easter bunny. Those are the only ones I've done.
I've made a canvas for somebody, and I put his footprint in birthday card for somebody.
Yeah.
I have nothing for myself.
No.
The hospital ones.
The hospital. Yeah, but I don't have. I wouldn't say I don't have time for it. I would say I have time for it. It's just
you can make time for it.
Yeah,
it doesn't take that long. We know because we did it with watching
9 kids.
9 kids, yeah.
I did a whole calendar.
Yeah,
for 9 kids. So
Wild.
that's 12 footprints for 9 kids. But yeah, but yeah, we're just like you said, we're just trying to get through the day. What are you doing, Leo? You can't eat it. But what else?
Well, it's always like I'm gonna redirect my child, I'm not gonna yell at my child, like that sort of thing, and I feel like everybody loses their crap.
Yep.
And it's hard. And I do tell him no. I try to say no thank you.
Uh-huh.
But
I say no, ma'am.
Like, no.
No, ma'am.
We're not doing that.
I find myself saying that a lot, but that also comes from the daycare. No thanks. No thank you.
No thank you. I don't like that. No thank you.
Don't do that. That hurts. But yeah, I try. I'm like, here, squeeze this instead of my face.
Yes, I love the giving options, Mom. I know there are times where, and your child will learn that you can have an option until you don't make that option.
Right.
And then it's my decision.
Mm-hmm. So. But yeah, so like you said, I do lose my absolute crap sometimes, and I'm like, dude, just stop.
Yeah.
Like,
like, I'm done with you. Like,
yeah.
Where's your dad?
Man, your dad gets home, he's all yours. You can have him. Like, so.
For sure. I know, like, and like, we have Velcro babies, and it's so funny that we do because we definitely wanted independent children, and
yeah,
I lost my train of thought, but like dinky babies, and
it's just I know I'm like a broken record, but just like being at the daycare, we had 9 babies on us all day long, like always needing us, always needing our attention. So when we finally have
created children like that,
yeah, we had it set like I'm not gonna hold them all the time. They're gonna be on the floor, which Bella is for the most part on the floor a lot.
Yeah. Now that they can like sit up and kind of move around a little bit, for sure.
But yeah, she does play on the floor. We play in her room. But yeah, these Velcro babies,
man.
I think those are garden vegetable crunchies. But Binky wise, we had a set thing like they're gonna be Binky babies, and this is the brand we're gonna use, and then they just don't use them.
Yeah,
they didn't want it. Leo doesn't want one at all.
Nope. He's like, what is that crap? He's like, just give me a bottle.
Yeah. What are some other like expectations that we had? Like,
it's kind of hard right now because like we're still learning because ours are still so little,
right?
And so I think my expectations and realities have like changed so much, but I haven't actually got to like put it
in.
Yeah. So like I have changed the way that I want to parent. But I can't really like go through with that since he's so young right now. But
right,
definitely have changed lifestyles with it. Like I thought I was definitely like recently we were talking about how like I don't want Leo to have sugar, and before I was like, yeah, I don't want him to have no red 40, no none of that. I mean, I am cautious about it, but I'm not like. No, not this product because it has a red 40. You know what I mean? Like, but
it's hard to find products
about it.
It is hard to find products without.
Yeah, I just try to like be aware of it and make sure like, like he's only having like so much of it and not like a ton of this and a ton of that.
Right.
It's really hard because like he's already so picky
He's very picky.
And
Bella's not picky at all.
Lucky.
She eats everything. Besides, like,
there's just a texture person.
Yeah. She isn't a big like vegetable fan.
Yeah, for sure.
But that is what it is.
I think like, especially like with them being so young, like we don't have to really like worry too much about that because like they'll go through a cycle again. Like
right.
Once they're like a little older and they can
what do they say? Their taste buds change every how many years? I
have no idea.
I don't remember how many years that was.
I mean, when they're still young, they can't remember, so you can just make them keep trying stuff over and over again.
Right. I just don't want her to be like me and like not like
so many things.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, no, you gotta try it. It's yummy.
Yeah.
And I try to try new things as well with her. So like when I make her baby food, I try the sweet potatoes. I've never had sweet potatoes until I made her baby food.
Yeah.
I've never had butternut squash until I made it for her. But add some cinnamon to it, it's kind of good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to be like gentle parenting, but like your safety's involved, like there's no like if your safety's involved and you're not listening and like you would need a spanking, like that would be something like
right.
I would be willing to do. I don't want to, but I would be considering it if it was what was needed.
Right.
Because all kids are different in the way that some kids are like the talking and understanding and the face-to-face and like that moment is enough for some kids, and others it's just not. Yeah. Consequences sometimes is what's needed. So.
Right. Sometimes I'll just be frustrated and everything. I'm like, Bella, I'm gonna spank you. I'm gonna give you a spanking.
And I'm like, I'm gonna whoop your butt. Pow, pow, pow.
And it's usually like, stop it. But I agree with that. But yeah, I want to fine line in between, gentle parenting and whatever the opposite is. You know, I don't want to be too hard on her. And I wouldn't say like my childhood was terrible. I never really got that many spankings. Mm-hmm. I did get sent to my room a lot. You're gonna sit at that table until your food is gone. Is basically what I got. And then my mom would sneak in there and be like, "Just throw it out in the trash. And go." So that's yeah. It was more my stepdad was more the hard parent, and my mom was like, "Just go away. Just get out. Mm-hmm. Just do something."
Yeah. For sure.
How would you think, like, parenting for you was growing up?
It was very interesting since my parents were split and I was a divided home. My dad was very chillaxed. If he needed to, he would yell and we would be crying and we would know, like, we don't want dad to yell at us again. And that was about all we needed with my dad. And with my mom, I tried to get away with some more, so... and I know she was going through a rough time, so there was, and once you become a teenager, your relationship with your parents is very different, and also similar with my mom on things that we did just fight, like, a lot, so, but I don't really think that has much to do with her parenting, per se, but she was definitely, like, the one that was on me, hard on me, more than my dad, but I think, like, at the end of the day, I learned more, like, things that I needed to learn from my mom. And my dad was more like my friend.
Yeah.
But it evened out. So.
Yeah. When I would say I think it was my senior year, I decided I moved in with my sister instead of living with my mom. I was still in high school. It was my senior year. And with my sister, I just did whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to hang out with Corey. I'd just be like, hey, I'm going to Corey's house.
Yeah.
Obviously, I still didn't get to spend the night with him and everything, so on and so on. But he wanted to come over. He just came over. I wanted to go over there. I just go over there. Leo.
Oh, I was fortunate that Gabe always Gabe lived in the same neighborhood, so it was like less than a 5-minute drive or like a 10-minute walk, ride bike, whatever. So I pretty much went over there like every day after school. I'd go home and do my chores, and then I would go hang out with him.
Yeah.
And then I'd come back and go to bed. Do it all over again.
Do it all over again. Yeah, so do you think like how you want to parent, like, I can't figure out how to word that. You know, what is affected of how you were raised. Like, does that make sense?
How is it different?
No, like how you were raised affect the way you want to parent.
For sure. But I also, not just that, not only that, but times and social media are everything. And I've learned a lot of things from social media.
Yeah.
Like I've known about gentle parenting, of course, but like more of like the decisions, like giving them choices and stuff like that has like more new to me.
Mm-hmm. So one of my favorite TikTokers, I know you said like, you know, you've learned a lot through. Her name is Jess on TikTok. She does the aggressive cooking videos, and her and her best friend, they stay at home mom together, and she's probably one of my favorite people to watch. She is an I don't give a fuck mom. Yeah. Like, and a gentle parent at the same time.
Yeah.
She's great. Go check her out. Recommend.
So definitely, for sure, I think like with you, like you would like to yell probably a little less and then with me, like I think that my mom was too harsh, and I think my dad was a little soft. So I like to be right in the middle.
Yeah, I try my hardest not to yell, but you know, especially like being home with her all day long, and then all night, like she's been waking up every 2 to 3 hours to eat, and then waking up for the day at 7 o'clock, and I'm like, I'm drained.
That's my life all the time.
I'm so drained. And then my whole back problem that I've been having, and I can't bend over and put her in her jumper or sit her on the floor. It hurts to sit on the floor to play with her.
You've been going through it.
It's just, and so yesterday I did lose my complete crap.
So I've always known, like, I have patience, but I have a breaking point, you know? Mm-hmm. And what I've always told myself, even before I had kids, was like, when I do have kids and when that time comes and I'm going to lose my crap, even like right now, of course, like it doesn't really apply to him too much because he doesn't really understand what's going on.
Right.
But like, I'm not perfect, and I'm going to know that my kids will know that I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And I lose my shit, and someday you're going to lose your shit. But at the end of the day, if I regret something that I did or said, I'm going to apologize to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to give me that same respect when you are upset and maybe have said some things. So that way, you know, like, even when they are grown and they're teenagers, like, they still get to come to me and, like, be real with me.
I think that's what gets me the most is that she doesn't know what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know that she's frustrating me. So, like, when I yell at her...
At this point, they're frustrated, and that's why you're frustrated. Because they're frustrated.
Yeah, you don't know why they're frustrated.
And they don't know why, normally.
So, I literally just sit there, and, like, I even text you sometimes, like, I feel so bad. Like, I sit there and I just cry, because I'm like, I literally yelled at her. Like, I screamed at her, and I just feel terrible. Yeah. I'm like, she's not going to remember tomorrow. But but I remember. Like, that sticks with me. And I'm like, I need to do better. And then...
But you need to, like, I just think that my kids need to understand, like, we all have accountability and we can break. And, like, we can make mistakes and all that. And that we're always going to love each other and that we just need to be accountable for ourselves.
I just don't want, like, later on, she's not going to want to be like, no, my mom is not the person. Like, I don't want to be, like, her best friend, but... Yeah. I want to the fine line between best friend and being a parent, you know?
The good midline.
Yes. Yeah. Because I feel like my mom would be a really close friend for me. Like, if I needed something, I would call her. And if I needed to talk, if I needed to rant about somebody, I'd call my mom.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure, my mom is the best person to like crap talk someone on. If like you really like a hype man, but like an agreement, like hype man, like support you when you're upset, and I do the same with him.
Mhm.
Like, my mom will be like, "I just need a vent," and I'm like, "Go ahead." Like, I will feel the feelings too, just like we would for each other. Right. You know? It's nice though that it's your mom. Yeah. Me and my mom haven't always had the best relationship, so it's nice. Sometimes being a mom, you understand your mom. Your mom like has more, I guess, like sympathy for you.
Right. So, but so you know those TikTok trends? It's like crunchy and silky and whatever the other scrunchy. What would you consider
crunchy,
yourself?
Crunchy, silky. I can't even remember what I thought I was. But
so
not like the middle one, I think.
Yeah, the scrunchy.
Yeah.
Scrunchy. So it's like, so crunchy is you're against the mainstream everything. So you do home birth. You avoid screen time. And what's another one? Oh, no medications, no vaccines.
Homemade food.
No, so I did say no vaccinations. I can't even think. Complete gentle parenting. You don't call the doctor when something's wrong. Silky is the exact opposite. You go to the doctor. You call the doctor if you need help. You go to the hospital.
You feed them whatever you want.
Right. Chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, you know.
And then scrunchy is just like
scrunchy is a good mixture. So like you vaccinate your kids, but you keep them home for you homeschool. Or no screen time, but you know, just like a good mixture. Yeah. So I think I would say I'm about a scrunchy.
I think maybe it might be like in between scrunchy and silky, actually. Like, not fully scrunchy, but not fully silky.
Because like I make her baby food, but I also give her store-bought baby food. Like, because
I definitely do like store-bought baby food at this point because he doesn't really eat much of it anyways. Yeah. Kind of just to fill in. And then like I'm strict on the crib, and so I feel like that's like kind of more like scrunchy, but I feel like I'm like in the middle.
Yeah, so I make her food, but like when the store-bought stuff, I just throw it in the diaper bag. With the homemade, you can't do that. The homemade has to be at home, in the microwave. You have to warm it up. She is spoiled now and has to have her food warm. Like, I found that out last night. She would not eat the baby food yesterday, and I was like, why? My sister's like, maybe you should warm it up. She's used to it warm.
Yeah, so everything is like mostly room temperature or cold.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, formula. They're also open to formula. Yeah. The other ones are cloth diapers. Yeah, I can't do those.
I give props to those who can.
Yeah.
Let's go. I want to go back for just a second. Okay, I seen on our notes that we were gonna talk about sleepovers.
Oh, sleepovers.
Yeah. So I know, back when we were a thing, when we were kids, like it was not seem like a big deal, and I see all the TikToks now, and I definitely like fully understand where these parents are coming from, and it is like a scary world out here, but like I feel like at some point I just could not deny my son a sleepover.
Right.
But safety is number one, of course.
Right. Obviously
I'm definitely gonna be the let me talk to them, let me meet them, like the parents for sure. I want to know who's in the house. I want to know who's in the house for sure.
I think you're gonna, as a mom, you're gonna get a vibe from whoever it is. Like you're gonna walk up to somebody and be like, "This dude's giving like complete creep vibes. My daughter's not going over there."
But honestly, like I feel like also that's where like the dad's decision comes in hand too, because I have no idea how my husband would feel about it.
Right.
Like, because we haven't got there, obviously.
Right.
He's very strict with even like a babysitter, like over the night.
I'm just glad Bella has you and Leo and Lexi and Baron. Like, I'm glad she has you guys because obviously she gets older. She wants to go spend the night with her bestie Leo. Okay, there you go. Go at it, I guess.
Right, yes. Like, we could be like, if they want to sleep over with other friends from school, and you're like, what about Baron?
What about Baron? Baron
you know, like,
see you.
You find, like, maybe, like, another safety place.
Yeah. They can come over to our house.
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, like, when I was younger, can I go over to my friend's house? Yeah, sure. What does their parents say? They say yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What was the name of the friend?
My mom's not even going to call their
My
parent.
mom definitely was like I got to at least talk to the parent on the phone. But it's like, what did you even say to the parent? Like,
what are they going to do? When are they going to be home? No.
It's like,
okay, not do that.
Have your phone number. What's your name? Okay, your address. Like, that sort of stuff. Yeah, but it's just like, I want to know who all lives in the house.
Yeah.
Like,
so
other things like that.
Me and my friend, we had one thing is her mom most of the time would be like, what did Mackenzie's mom say? And I wouldn't even ask my mom. She'd be like, she said yes. She's like, okay, then it's okay with me. And then she'd be like, okay, my mom said yes. And I'm like, okay, Mom, can I go? What did her mom say? She said yes. Okay. So we had a thing. Going. Yeah. But it was like, I would say an every other weekend thing as I was going over to her house.
Yeah, I was mostly like consistent with the same people. I also had a best friend that lived in the same neighborhood growing up. So I could literally just be like, oh, I'm going to my friend Allison's house. And did you ever have that friend where you could text and be like, I'm going to meet you halfway, like walking? Like, that was her. And yeah, we literally lived like 2 streets away from each other. So it was perfect.
Yeah.
So things like that. You know, you have your safety houses and that's how it is. And that's perfect. Safety houses. We love that.
Yeah. I would say I lived really close to one of my friends, and one time I snuck out.
Love that for you. I snuck out with Gabe a few times.
It's just funny because, like, I couldn't get out of my window, so I'd have to go out my foster sister's bed window, and I look at her and I'm like, shh, don't tell. And I just put a blanket in the door or the window so I could get it open.
That's so funny. I was brave as hell. I just walked in and out the front door, so.
Yeah, my mom's bedroom was right next to the front door, so I couldn't do that.
Okay, so it's like my bedroom, my mom's bedroom down the hall, and then to get downstairs, you literally have to walk around, like, by her door, but she snored, so I could just, like, step real fast while she was snoring so she couldn't hear me, and then, like, run down the stairs as fast as I could, and then I'd, like, listen, like, get text Dave, like, are you almost here? And then I'd go listen, because she'd have to, like, be like, I'd have to know where she was snoring so I could open the door. So,
I can't believe that.
It was like a science, but I did it, like, quite a few times.
I never got caught. There was only one time I got caught.
One time I got caught, but it wasn't my fault. It was a friend's fault.
Yeah, so the guy I seen for, like, you know, those short relationships, so, like, the week long. Okay, so that's what it was. His best friend lived 2 streets over from me. So
he was staying the night over there.
Yeah. Yeah, he my mom was like, it's okay, it's ready, it's time to go to church, like, let's go. And I'm like, no, I think it was like the CMT awards were on. I was like, I really want to see these, Mom. Like, she's like, okay, we'll just stay home, you know, watch it, that's fine. Yeah, so I had a good few hours just going to church. You know? So I go over there.
This is like morning time sneaking out.
Yeah. The other times that I got out the window, that's what, like, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. And me and my friend, we were walking to their house, And when we're walking back, my freaking mom comes driving by. And what do? We turn around and walk the other way like they didn't see us. And it obviously she's seen us, so she came. She's like, "Get in the back of the truck." So we rode in the back of the truck because she was mad.
That is so funny.
Yeah. And at the time, like when I was younger, my dad paid for my phone, and so I would always use "You can't take my phone away. You don't pay for it." So what does she do? Gets on the phone with my dad.
I feel that.
Gets on the phone with my dad.
I'm like, I'm taking this phone. Yeah. You better back me up.
Yep. That's so funny. But yeah. Whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
It's done and over. She knows I snuck out before, so.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 23.
I don't know, but I'm sure my mom figured, but yeah.
She probably just didn't care at the time.
After graduation, she let me go to a house party, so that was cool.
After graduation?
Yeah.
Basically an adult at that time.
So I still lived in her house.
Yeah.
You have to follow your parents' rules when you live in her house.
Yeah.
Okay, so
we got a surprise, a big announcement next week.
Yes, so make sure that you tune in.
Because you don't want to miss it. Promise.
Big changes.
So I'm going to end it with a quote that I saw. It's, "You can't raise your kids the way your parents raised you, because the world that they raised you in doesn't exist anymore." So just keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah, I love that quote.
So that's it for this week of Mamas Need Coffee.